Hello everyone and welcome back to World of Warplanes, and today we are going to take a look at the Tier 6 British multi-role. It is the Tornado. This is long awaited and I cannot wait any longer. This is by far my favorite plane in the game. Yes, this is the best plane in the game. And, well, I'm not going to explain that yet. But let's first, I want to mention about replays. First, my email address is princehyrule@gmail.com, all lowercase. And you don't have to have a 20k game. As long as you think it's a good replay or something crazy happened, or you're just proud of the replay, just send it in. I'm not going to be picky. Just send in a replay and I'll feature it, okay? With that out of the, and I guess I'll say this: if I think it is good enough to make a review on, I won't hesitate to make a review on it, as long as I haven't, made a review on it already. But yeah, with that out of the way, with that exposition out of the way, let us talk about the history of the Tornado. So, the Tornado is a Tier 6 British multi-role. But in real life, it was created by the Hawker Company based on the experience gained from the development of the Hurricane. A total of 6 prototypes were built and tested in 1939 to 1941. However, due to engine problems, the project was abandoned in favor of the Hawker Typhoon, which they haven't added to the game yet. But hey, we got a Tornado. It's good enough for me because it's amazing in the game. But yes, with that's out of the way, let us go over the stats. So, it's got autocannon armament effective at medium range. So if we take a look at the guns, you are given 4 20mm, and I'll open up the information for you guys. These are excellent guns with a range of 2,231 feet. Not exceptional, but absolutely not bad. You can, for 20 mils, that's not too bad. You can make that work. It feels pretty decent. And then you have a rate of fire of 400 rounds per minute and a damage per second of 90. Not too shabby. The next thing, it's got low survivability. You're a multi-role, so don't believe that. Your survivability might not be good as good as a Thunderbolt, but for all intents and purposes, your survivability is fairly decent. You are a tank. Definitely not as tanky as the Thunderbolt, but in my opinion, you can take a beating. So I don't believe that's true. Good airspeed and good boost. I don't remember exactly how much boost it is. It's probably like 8 or like 10 seconds, something around there. Or maybe a little bit more, I don't know. But wait, does it tell us? Is that boost speed, max, or boost duration? Yeah, that's what we're looking for. 15 seconds of boost duration. Hey, we actually have stats that matter now in the hangar, so yay. But yeah, the boost is pretty decent on this plane. I do like the boost. It gets you where you need to go. It lets you go straight into the sky if you need to go straight into the sky. And it really gives you flexibility with this plane. So very good boost, that is true. And the airspeed, it may not be the best, but it's certainly not the worst. And the airspeed does feel fairly decent. It does get around the battlefield quite easily. Next, it's good maneuverability, or has good maneuverability in horizontal turns. If we take a look at the maneuverability, it's a rating of 63 with an average time to turn 360 degrees of 10.3 seconds. That's absolutely not fantastic, but for a multi-role, that's actually pretty decent. And really, 10.3 seconds, yeah, it's not going to be glorious, but in no way is it bad. Especially if you start outfitting this plane for maneuverability, the maneuverability really isn't that bad. The next point, effective in low altitude combat and in destroying small amounts of ground targets. With the guns, you can actually destroy soft targets fairly decently. I don't recommend it, but if you need to do it to take a sector, don't be afraid to shoot down soft targets with your guns. You can make it work. Low altitude combat, I beg to differ a little bit. I'd say it's low to mid. I really enjoy playing this plane at mid altitude. That's where I feel it's the best. And if you are at mid altitude and you still have your boost remaining, getting up to those high altitudes, not ultra high, but high-ish altitudes to take down AI bombers is a total possibility. You can totally make it work. And yeah, the ground target pounding capability on this plane isn't too shabby. And then finally, it can carry bombs or rockets. I always prefer to go with bombs when given the option. However, you do have the option of 6 air-to-air, well, they're air-to-ground target rockets, but really the only reason you would put the rockets on instead of the bombs is because you'd want to get Rocketeer. But you only have 6 of them, so it's not going to be super easy, but you absolutely can use rockets if you prefer them. But bombs are more effective against ground targets, and substantially so. You do have less damage overall with the bombs compared to the rockets. However, the blast radius, I think, makes up for it, and the ease of dropping them where you need them. I just prefer bombs, but the rockets, you can definitely make an argument for the rockets. Now, with that being said, yeah, I mean, these bombs certainly aren't great. They're not huge. They're not, gonna take a sector super easily. But if you need that little bit to take a sector, you can totally make it work. So overall, how should you play this plane? Mid to low altitude. Turning is pretty decent, and really, as long as you're keeping those guns firing, you are golden, because those guns are amazing. They absolutely decimate everything that it encounters. And with that being said, let's quick jump over to here. Oh wait, they ruined it, so let's not take a look at that, because I just don't care, honestly. Paint shop. Well, you don't get any reward or gift paint scheme, and so likewise you can also not put a beta sticker on there, but it doesn't really matter. Surprisingly, I haven't put one on mine, even though I love this tornado to death, as you can clearly see by the 6 kill markings and 3 bomb markings. But just by looking at this, it should tell you immediately that your main focus should be air-to-air and only attack ground when given opportunities, but it's not something you go to immediately. That's something that you really do need to understand. And yeah, with that being said, let's take a look at the crew skills. I went with Marksman 1, Marksman 2, because I think that's super important. And unlike other multi-roles, I don't actually think Demolition Expert's that useful, because your bombs are pretty trash anyway. I'm not saying they're horrible. There's certainly other planes, i.e. the Thunderbolt, that have much better ground pounding capabilities. This simply is not one of them. So Demolition Expert, not ideal. I put Aerobatics Expert, but this is, or sorry, Aerodynamics Expert, but that was before they changed equipment. Unless you're gonna try to set your plane up for a maneuverability build, I would not recommend putting this on there. Instead, I would just put your Aerobatics Expert and call it a day. With that being said, let us jump into some gameplay. This is my favorite plane, by the way, if I haven't mentioned it. We're coming over here, and if you don't have this plane, get it. It's totally worth it. It is absolutely a gem to fly. I want to see if the statistics upload so I can show you just how much time I put into it. 27 hours and 20 minutes. Yes, guys, this plane is my second most played plane. The only one that has more is the Dornier 335, and that is because it's a premium and so it's the one that earns me more credits. However, this tornado is the one that got me through Operation West Wall, and honestly, I completed the most missions from Operation West Wall to get my Dornier 335 and also my XF-15C if I can find it. Yeah, right here, XF-15C. Also got it from the tornado, mostly. Not entirely the tornado, but mostly from the tornado. With that being said, let's jump into some gameplay. Alright guys, and welcome to the gameplay section. This is played during the attrition event, and I am the only tier 6 on my team. One of 2 tier 6s in the battle, so do keep that in mind when you take a look at this. But even when you are not in as glorious of matchmaking as this, you can still make it work. However, this replay is glorious. It shows exactly what the plane can do, and because it's my favorite plane ever in the game, I really needed to make sure I got a perfect replay. A flawless, perfect, unparalleled replay in this glorious plane. And I finally got it in this battle. Thank you so much, Attrition Mode. You make this so easy. But yes, on this Attrition Mode, I'm not going to explain how attrition works. If you do not understand, I'm sorry, I'm not going to explain it. I have other videos that talk about it a little bit. But yeah, this is really just to show what the tornado can do. And yeah, I'm going to the command center first because that's the only place that matters. And I want to get stuck in combat, and I know that the bulk of the enemy force will be here, so I want to get stuck right in and take a beating and also dish out a beating. So here we go. Bowfighter, we're on his tail, and the 20s just ruin face really easily. So yeah, that's great. Now we're attacking a P-47B. He's never going to outturn us, so we're just going to hold down the trigger. You do have to be a little bit careful because once your guns overheat, they stay overheated for a while. That Thunderbolt was a little bit too far away from me. I really should have banked off a little bit early, but I get ruined by a Spitfire 1A. So shoutouts to the Spitfire 1A. You did take me out. It was a little bit frustrating at the time because he killed me so quickly. But whatever. We'll come back. We'll do something. This is still a flawless replay, even though I got ruined there. Just saying. Just ignore that. It didn't actually exist. It was still flawless replay, okay? Anyway, we're going back to the center because that's the only sector that matters. And yes, we are going to come in here, shoot down some enemy planes. And yeah, that's about it. We got P-47B. I almost took him out before I died, so now it's time to get some revenge on him. There we go. We finished off the P-47 that we did not get earlier. Here comes a Zero. The Zero has no hope. You're just going to die immediately. That's an XFL-1 as far as I'm aware. And honestly, I can outturn the XFL all day long. I got someone on my tail. Oh look, it's a heavy fighter and a boomerang. Glorious. I'm on fire now, and this is really not a good situation. Again, this is still a flawless replay, so leave me alone. I don't care if I die again. It's still a freaking flawless battle. And we get shot down again. Very unfortunate. So the start of this game is fairly mediocre. We still have far more points than anybody else on either team, with 3,345 or somewhere around there. And well, our team just took a airstrip, so yay. I accidentally clicked or pinged the map, but ignore that because it doesn't actually matter. It was a little bit frustrating when that happens, but whatever. We're going back into the center objective now, and we will see what can be done. We got Bowfighter. I really did not like that he killed me last time, so we're going to ram him. Oh my word, this replay is not perfection. Really ramming heavy fighters, getting shot down twice. It's not going so well. But this is where things really start to pick off, or take off. The battle hasn't really started too much yet, and nobody really has any sectors, so kills are still worth very little. Which is a good thing. You really want those type of battles where sectors just don't get taken for a long period of time in order to get those massive games. That's the only way to get those massive games. Totally get a revenge on the Spitfire 1A. We're going to flip around and I'm going to get revenge on this Bowfighter. I don't know which Bowfighter it was that took me out earlier, but I'm going to shoot him down regardless because he's there and why not. Now we got an XP-44 above us, and he really is not going to pose a threat anymore. I can outturn him all day, no problems, and poof, he's gone, just like that. Now we got 109E, and again, I can outturn him all day, no problems, and that's the great thing about the Tornado, in my opinion, is it's a multi-role that has decent maneuverability, and it's got great guns, great maneuverability, it can absorb a ton of damage. Its bombs allow you to shoot down ground targets if you have to, and it's because of that. Its boost, it's amazing. Its altitude performance isn't too shabby. The boost really does make it a very good plane. And it's just all those factors, all these reasons that just make this plane unparalleled from anything else I've played. F4F is toast, no problem whatsoever. We got a Bowfighter in once again. I'm so sick of getting shot down out of the sky from ambushing heavy fighters, so he is going out of the sky immediately. Here's another Bowfighter, so we're going to have to tear him apart as well, which won't be hard at all. We're just going to spin up on his tail and unload death upon his face. There we go, he is gone, and now I've got a 0 on my tail. However, he's getting shot by flak and a bunch of other planes, and so he doesn't really want to stay on my tail, which allows me to get on the tail of a 0 and shut him down, or take him out of the sky fairly quickly indeed. We're going to head over to the west a little bit and see what else we can do. Here's a Bowfighter, and we're just going to fire at him because, well, he's no threat. And just like that, he is gone. So, whenever I see those Bowfighters, I'm going to take them out immediately because they keep ruining me whenever they see me. And so I just don't want those headhunters to be around anymore. Even though they are bots, I'd rather headhunt the headhunters than get headhunted by the headhunters. If that makes any sense. We got an XFL-1, no problem. And at this point, we have 3 sectors to their 0 sectors. So getting kills is really the top priority here. So I don't even care that if I'm spawn camping, because that's what we got to do now, and that's what we're going to be doing for the rest of the battle. Sorry if you hate spawn camping, but it's got to happen. All of our bots are over here anyway, and that's where the enemy planes are. In order to get a good score, you got to really camp those spawn points. It's when you're allowed to camp those spawn points that you're able to just get crazy scores. And because we control both airstrips, the only spawn point they have is their original spawn center. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to take him out. I'm going to try turning on the 0. He is more maneuverable than me. We're going to get a couple shots into him. Not quite able to take him out. But we're going to keep turning with him. And there are very few other multi-roles in the game that can actually effectively turn with a 0. Granted, if that 0 really wanted to turn fight with me, I wouldn't be able to outturn him. But you could see there that even when he was trying to turn with me, I could get up on his tail occasionally. Now I've got basically everybody over here, all the enemy planes. So this is really either a feast or a slaughterhouse. Either way, it's a slaughterhouse for one team. I don't know if it's going to be for me or the enemy team, but you'll just have to wait and see. They're down to only 9 resources, so the battle is just about done. The 0 is right there. I don't have much health. I'm not going to keep turn fighting him. My wing and engine were destroyed, so I'm going to... Actually, my engine was not. So I'm actually going to gain some distance. I'm not going to turn fight with him. So that way I can turn up on his tail, and hey, look at that. I can actually deal with a 0. So yeah, don't turn fight with 0s. Instead, to apply the strategy I just used there, and 0s are really no issue when you do that, because they're so slow. Getting away from them just isn't hard. And with that, it is game. 27,095 personal points, Glorious game. We get Conqueror, Marseille Medal, Ace, Winged Legend, and some random other medal. So, kudos to us. That's a victory. 3 chevrons, and a glorious battle indeed. Do I recommend the Tornado? We're going to move on to the next question. What are the main things to learn about the Tornado? Well, it does everything, so it doesn't really matter. You take hits, you drop bombs, you have maneuverability, you have a good boost, you have decent altitude performance. What is there not to like about it? Oh, and you got 420s that are just glorious. So, yeah, this plane is a gem. Get it, play it, love it. You will adore it. It really is that great. And with that being said, well, we'll take a quick look at the after battle stats, and I will sign off. So there you go. That was one of the battles. I think that was the one for the German pilot. I was fighting hard for the German pilot, and I ended up getting the German pilot at the end there. Was it worth it? No. Falcon, if you're watching this, I'd honestly, if I had known that the next patch was going to ruin the game and that the German pilot isn't really that impressive anyway, I would have just given the 10th slot to you and not even worried about it. But unfortunately, I got the 10th spot, wasted my entire life that weekend, and yeah, that is that, I suppose. 25 air kills, not too shabby. Almost 6,000 damage to air targets, also pretty decent. And yeah, the Tornado is a monster. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please leave comments down below. I love to read those comments. It's more important than subscribing and liking, in my opinion. Reading and interacting with the community is the #1 priority when I make these YouTube videos. So please take a moment, take a minute, take a two, and just write your thoughts on the Tornado. Give me something to work with. And yeah, also please remember to send in some replays. My email address is princehyrule@gmail.com. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.